Did you know that one map made over 500 years ago accidentally changed the course of history forever? Stop scrolling, because this tale will have you questioning just how much a single mistake can ripple through time. This is the story of the Mapmaker's mistake that redrew history. It was the year 1507, just 15 years after Christopher Columbus reached the Americas. A German cartographer named Martin Waldseemüller set out to create one of the most ambitious maps ever, a comprehensive, globe-encompassing rendering of the known world. But this wasn't just any map. Waldseemüller's goal was to create something entirely new, not only to educate, but to shape how humanity saw the world as a whole. At the time, Europe was buzzing with news of the recently discovered lands across the Atlantic Ocean. Now, imagine being Waldseemüller, piecing together a puzzle where not all the pieces actually exist. He relied on what scholars, travelers, and letters could tell him. One of those letters became his greatest source and his biggest blunder. The letter in question was from Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian explorer who had written vivid accounts of his voyages. Vespucci claimed he had been to a new continent, lands totally disconnected from Asia. Up until then, nobody in Europe had clearly defined these territories as separate from the Far East. Vespucci's letters were charismatic and convincing, but they contained one small problem. Historians today believe Vespucci may have exaggerated or misunderstood what he'd actually discovered. Enter Waldseemüller. He pored over Vespucci's letters with fascination, and in an act of admiration, decided to name this new continent after the Italian explorer. That's right. This is how the name America was born. So, what was the mistake? Well, for one, Vespucci wasn't the first European to reach the Americas. Columbus had set foot there years earlier, though he believed until his death that he had found parts of Asia. Second, Vespucci's claim about discovering an entirely new landmass was based on questionable evidence, yet Waldseemüller took it as gospel truth. And so, in 1507, the name America appeared boldly on Waldseemüller's map, labeling what we now know as South America. This name grew to encompass both North and South America within just decades. Fast forward to today, and we all live on continents still bearing the name birthed from this unintended map-making marvel and misunderstanding. But the story doesn't end there. A fascinating twist happened just a few years later. Waldseemüller, possibly realizing his mistake, or bowing to political pressures, avoided using America in subsequent maps. He even downplayed Vespucci's contributions in favor of Columbus. However, the naming ship had already sailed. Multiple copies of the 1507 map were circulated across Europe and beyond, cementing the name America in the global consciousness. This stew of exploration, ego, and error had long-lasting implications. The name shaped how Europeans, and later the rest of the world, conceptualized these massive landmasses. All because of one mapmaker interpreting one explorer's letters, an interpretative leap changed how billions of people would refer to their home continents for centuries. So next time you look at a map, remember, while it's intended to represent our reality, it can also rewrite our perceptions and our histories. One map, one mistake, an entire world redefined. Isn't history fascinating?